Alright everybody, this is part 2 of the Transformers R.I.D yellow version Optimus Prime that I picked up. Hopefully you caught the first part. And this is now the second part for that. And this part sometimes is a little tricky, but what you want to do first, I like to just point these down. And this part here, you can see he's got his head, and you just want to spin that around. And then in this part, let's see, take this and it folds like that. You want to spin that around. I don't know how well you can see that. You'll fix his upper parts there. His little, his little pipes on the side of his head. And then straighten all that out. Now what you want to do is turn this guy back around. Push him upward. And he looks kind of funny now. But, see, he's Optimus with no head. But we're about to take care of that. This part here, there's two holes, this one and that one. You can see those. They go in with this and this, these two pegs up here. And you want to do with that, okay, did that. Okay, let me get him out the way for a second. I did this part wrong. I had it to where it was that way, but what you want to do actually is rotate after you do that one part to where it's angled like that. Then you want to spin this whole thing around and it clicks, so it's got pretty good posability on it. And you just want to angle it. I don't know if you can see that. You just want to angle that to where it faces downwards towards the ground or whatever surface it is that you're putting this guy on. And then you want to bring that in a line. Everything up. Get those pegs lined into those holes. Sometimes this is a little tricky. And he does like to get a little talkative sometimes. But this is a little tricky sometimes. Okay. Depending on what angle you have that ladder at is what makes this part sometimes a pain in the butt. I'm going to get another book to try and go higher on this so y'all can actually see what I'm doing. I apologize, but this is difficult for anybody to see anything. Bring this up. Okay, now if the camera will stay forward without falling, then we might get somewhere. And then, yes, I said it fell. Maybe this one. No, that's too high. Okay. Need to try and make this thing stay. This might help. Reviews I do are not this tall for the figures. Okay, hopefully this will work. Can't promise anything. I wasted a bit of time there with adjusting things, but there we get this. Wind in. It's rather a pain sometimes. There's actually 3 pegs there that line up. Depending on where you got this guy at, this is a little difficult one thing is, one thing I would complain about this figure is that, and actually, I think I have his feet backwards. Maybe I did. Some of the things on this guy can be a little detouring about the figure, if I even use the right word. But nonetheless, I would recommend this figure to anyone just because he is Optimus Prime. And he is like one of the most awesome Transformers of all time. So, let's see. I guess I did not have these feet wrong, by the way. He's just being difficult right now. First time I did this, I did not have this much problems. Okay, back to this point. Take this guy. You got 1, 2, 3 pegs. Make sure that's flat. And see what they have, since they have this joint in here, that's partially what makes this difficult. But I guess there's a point to that, so you can't pick on them too much. But it is a bit of a pain, as you can kind of see. It could just be me, I don't know, but I don't know who else has this figure, if they got the same problem with it as I do, or not. But I do find it sometimes rather difficult to get everything lined up, since it does move. It does pivot, it does rotate, it does do all this, it has great possibilities. I'm saying that 5 times fast. But it's kind of a disadvantage and an advantage at the same time, kind of almost like an oxymoron. And like, it had to be there, but I think there might have been some way where they could have done this a little simpler. So I am sure I cannot be the only one with this problem with him. And his joints are pretty tight, so I don't think it's like bad quality of the figure himself, or maybe that somebody didn't take care of it. It's well taken care of. Very clean, very nice figure. But sometimes, though, I find it's just easiest if when you get it, he stays in one spot, because it is a bit of a pain when he's in this mode to move around. When he's in just the normal robot mode, he's pretty simple to deal with. But this mode, he's kind of a pain moving that thing around. But also, now that that is done, you want to take these little other parts that came off the truck, and I do believe is this way actually. They just pop right on. Make sure the arms are straight, and they just kind of line in to that, and that is Optimus Prime in his super robot mode. He does have articulation, and like his wrists do spin. His thumbs go, if I can set that down. They do go out, or he can also, like, he can't really make a fist because the hands do pop off easily. They're just on a ball joint, so that's kind of expected. Sometimes things do like to slide around a little bit. Also, one other gimmick though. Uh, this little piece here opens up, and I do believe that is supposed to be the matrix or his spark right there. Not sure exactly, but thought that was pretty cool. These do spin or rotate. Guess you'd almost say 360, but kind of more 180, somewhere between 180 and 360, because they cannot go all the way because of his shoulders and stuff. But his head does go, if you angle these right, it does go 360, so you can look at you no matter where you are. Overall, I would say that he is a pretty awesome figure. I don't know what else to say about him, but he's pretty awesome, and I know I say that a lot in most of my reviews because I have not. There's been a few figures that has got several qualities I didn't exactly like or agree with or fully understand why parts like that are how they are, or parts of maybe where the transformation can be a little smoother, a little quicker. But overall, I can't really complain too much about some of the figures. Most people is just complain about Hasbro, and they're cheap sometimes. They are cheap sometimes. I'm not gonna say that they're perfect, but they do throw out some pretty great stuff. And this figure, aside from his defaults with the thing moving around and doing all that, I'd still have to say he's one of my favorite figures that I have. I would probably compare him next to with Ultra Magnus, because he does have a base, just a mode, just a normal, walk around robot mode. And then he takes everything from, his fire truck mode and just builds onto himself and makes this bigger, more awesome freaking robot that, most would probably fear just the sight of him. He does seem a little menacing with the big shoulder pads and the big arms, and he's just big and bulky. He's built like a football player, but that's what I find awesome about him. He's pretty cool. He's pretty slick. There are those few little complaints, but other than that, he's got the missiles, he makes sounds, he lights up, he moves pretty good depending on how you have him. He does have the little squirt gun gimmick. And in this mode, we'll get Jazz again. And now you can see just how tall he is compared to Jazz in his super mode, as compared to Deluxe Jazz in just, normal Jazz. He's probably almost twice the size of a Deluxe figure, but he's pretty cool. So that's the review for this guy. Let me know what you think. I do recommend this figure to anyone of any Transformers fans. There are some G1 people out there that stick just to G1 figures, but if you're gonna go outside G1, hands down, I would say get this figure, because he's pretty cool. All sorts of gimmicks, and pretty big guy. He stands tall above a lot of them, but he's pretty cool. So thanks for watching this video. Let me know what you think. Sorry if I made a few mistakes during the transformation. It took so long to get that other part on there, and I kind of sometimes just ramble like I'm doing now, but whatever. So just let me know what you think. Thanks for watching. JMac0516 here, signing out.